So, if you're in your 20s and you're thinking that you're failing, that you're falling behind, that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, or you're not achieving the results that you're supposed to utterly achieve at your age, let me tell you that you're not alone. Because you might look at your peers and think they're living fantastic lives where they are out with their partners doing these crazy vacations, they are having exciting new job opportunities, they are doing better than you, having better grades than you, they are better looking than you, and you are on YouTube here binge watching this kind of videos. And even worse, when you are ambitious, when you are conscientious, industrious, you want to do great things. Maybe you actually tried to do great things, you actually started some projects, you take them on, you are being consistent, but you still failed. Still, this thing haven't worked. Even though you tried or you are trying, you're not seeing results. And all your plans that you had, all the predictions, that maybe fantasies and expectations that you had, reality had different plans and didn't respect what you actually had in mind. And I get you because I'm in your same position. This is just what I want to tell you. I'm in your exactly same position because I live in Italy and I graduated in physical therapy in November 2023. And since I was 22 and very young, I wanted to take a year off basically, trying to pursue my athletic development. I trained very much in my sport, which is judo, in order to become the best athlete that I can possibly be. So I trained like around 7 to 9 times a week with 4 to 5 judo sessions, 2 weightlifting sessions, and 1 to 2 conditioning sessions while working part time as a physical therapist because I didn't want to be want to bear my family. I want to be able to at least provide for myself and not being a weight for the people around me. So even though I trained that much, I did it for all 2024. And in my mind, I had the 3 to 4 competitions that I wanted to win, that I want to achieve good stuff. Okay, I did all that I could to train, and guess how much of my goals I've reached? Zero, none. I failed. I lost all the competitions that I can possibly lose. I Even though I did all my best, I believe I couldn't train more than what I did in 2024. Literally, without breaking myself apart, without uh, accumulating more injuries than the one that I already had, I could not train more. Okay, and all that year that I spent instead of working and acquire new skills that would be helpful for my job and future career development, I spent it to training and I still wasn't able to achieve nothing. Okay, I lost. And in 2025, and for a series of personal problems, I had to abandon my project of becoming the best athlete that I can possibly can. So I wanted to start working also in the afternoon as a physical therapist because I worked only in the morning. I wanted to work also in the afternoon in a private clinic in physical therapy in order to develop my career, getting more money, etc., etc. So since December, I started to contacting private clinics in my town in order to get a job, another job, and I realized that I don't really like physical therapy. I spent 3 years studying and doing something that I'm realizing right now it's not really compatible with my personality and who I am as a person. But I want to try different setting in physical therapy to really understand and be sure before doing something very stupid, which is changing completely my career direction. I want to be sure 100% that I don't want to do this thing in life. So I've sent CV and my presentation letter to nearly every private clinic that is in my town. And guess how many responses I get? Absolutely zero responses. No one actually replied to my emails. Okay, I tried to send. I sent a lot of CV. I wrote a specific presentation letter to every clinic. I researched what they're doing. I saw what are their mission, what are their values, and all of that crap that you had to do before writing a presentation letter. I've done one personalized for every clinic. For every clinic, I've wrote a letter, and it was useless. No one contacted me back. Also, what I've tried to do in this year was also getting into content creation, because I wanted to express my thoughts and feelings. I wanted to have a more creative endeavor in which I can express my thoughts, my emotions also. And so I started with this YouTube channel. Partly because I wanted to do that and I'm having fun doing all of that shit, but also because deeply inside me I'm thinking about, it's very fascinating, the idea of becoming a creator and a YouTuber and being able to gain money on this type of job. So I've posted around 40 videos since July 2024 and I received a total amount of 100 views. It's ridiculous. 100 views spread across 40 videos. And I want to be clear, I know that 40 videos is basically nothing. Until you have made 100 videos, you shouldn't be complaining, because it takes time to become good at making videos, talking to camera. I'm even talking in a language which is not my native language. So I know that it's expected to go this way, but I'm not here to whining, okay? I'm not here to say, oh my god, I'm trying to do all of this stuff and I'm still failing. No, I want to be clear about that. I know that if I'm not getting the results that I want, is because I'm doing things that are not actually optimal. Maybe I should do more, maybe I should focus on just one thing, but that's not the focus of this video. I want to let you know that I understand what it feels like to put effort and receive nothing back. Because I know what it feels like to feel like everything that you do have no impact at all. That your actions actually doesn't change your external conditions. And when it happens repeatedly, when it happened to me in the last year, basically all that happened is I'm trying to put all this effort and I'm getting nothing back. You start to become hopeless, nihilistic, and you start to feel like you're a failure. And might happen to you also, because it's a logical reasoning if you think about it. It's very logical to start thinking about yourself in this way, because you do actions to achieve a precise results. Your actions doesn't produce the results that you would like, so you fail. And if you repeatedly do actions that fail, well, you are what you do on a day-to-day basis. So if you fail repeatedly, you are a failure. I know that it's pretty logical to think about yourself that way. But I want to share you a thought about that. And I believe that even though I feel like a failure sometimes, okay? I got this voice in my head that tells me that I'm not worth shit, that no one cares about me, that I'm not really someone who is worth, I'm not a person of value, okay? No one cares about me in deeply, okay? So I got this voice in my head, but if you really think about it, you don't control the outcome. The thing is, you gotta understand that you don't control the outcome. Because I don't control whether I get a job or I don't. I don't control whether my videos do good or they don't do good. I don't control whether I win or lose martial arts in competition. I can influence the outcome of those things. Of course, if I have a better CV or I send more things out there, of course I will get more chance, but it's not guaranteed. It's not 100%. Okay? If I train better, of course I have more probability to win, but it's not sure. It's not 100%. And I'm gonna ask you some question. If I do one shitty video, one very shitty video, and it suddenly, fortunately, goes viral, does it make me a good content creator? Does it make me a successful content creator? Or if I send one shitty CV and a very lazy presentation letter, and I get called for the job, does it make me a competent person? Does it make me someone who is actually good at what he does? Or if I train like shit, one day yes, one day no, I skip for 1 week, I lift once a month, and I suddenly win a competition, does it make me a good athlete? The question is no, of course not. Of course not. And the reason you feel like a failure is because you're putting too much focus on your external results instead of evaluating yourself on the efforts that you're putting in and your day to day action. And your identity, who you perceive yourself as who you are, should be based on what you do on a day to day basis. And if you're doing the necessary every day to reach your goals and getting closer to the vision that you have for your future, you cannot call yourself a failure. Because if you do the necessary, if you do something day to day consistently, even if you don't feel like it, you're someone who is consistent, you're someone who is disciplined. You're the exact opposite of someone who is a failure. Because a failure is someone who stopped trying. A failure is someone who gave up. Is someone who stopped to do the things that are necessary in order to get where he wanted to go. But if you're still trying somehow, if you're doing all your best efforts, which doesn't mean being able to do everything on the to-do list. Sometimes you feel like shit and you can just get up from the bed and do 30 minutes of work on your computer. Sometimes days like this exist, okay? Days like this exist. And let me tell you one thing that I understood. There is one thing that I truly understood, because everyone is talking about motivation versus discipline. Oh yeah, because when you're motivated it's easily, but you need fucking discipline to keep going. Man, discipline is easy. Here's the thing, discipline is very easy because being disciplined just means I don't feel like it doing now, but I know in the future that if I do this shit, I will have a reward. For example, I want in the gym, in the fitness space. Usually people say, "Oh, I need to train. Oh, if even though I don't feel like it, I still go." Yes, of course you do. Of course you do, because you know that even though you don't feel like it, if you still go, you will get closer to your dream physique. It's easy because you know that a reward is still guaranteed in the future. But, but, when you have to do one thing and you're not sure whether a reward is guaranteed or not, fuck, thing, that's when things get really hard. Is when you have to put effort into a project that you don't know whether it will work or not. It's when you lose all hope, when you feel like you're wasting time, when you're doing things repeatedly and get no results on a consistent day-to-day basis, when you think you should stop and you don't think you should stop because you feel like it, you don't feel like it, you think you should stop because it starts to become a pretty logical conclusion. If you're doing something and it doesn't get results, it might have sense to focus on something else, try to do another thing at all. That's when things get really hard. That's when things get really difficult to be consistent with. Oh, discipline versus motivation. Fuck off. That's not difficult. Because you know, when you know that the result is guaranteed, it's not difficult. When things are uncertain, that's where the stuff gets hard. But my advice would be, don't give up. Anyway, don't give up, even if the result is not guaranteed, because your efforts will be always rewarded. And either you will be either rewarded with an external achievement, so you will get the job, you will win the trophy, you will get the girl, or you will develop skill and become a better person. And even if you don't develop any skill, any practical skill, even if you don't get an external achievement, you will develop a pair of balls of steel, okay? And you will have all of my respect if it means something to you. Remember that you are not a failure if you still, as long as you still trying. As long as you're still trying, you cannot call yourself a failure. Remember to aim upward and keep searching for strength.